Good Friday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Friday market wrap up here. TOPGUN Options, Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz. Man, what an absolute insane week. On the political front, on the Fed front, right? The Federal Reserve meeting this week. Now we got potential government shutdown. Now we got Trump saying we got a deal for TikTok. I mean, just very, very tactical market, and we're printing money doing it. We had, I think, four for four or 5 for 5 for S&P 500 sniper shots. Did another one a little bit ago for a nice 30% profit in a couple minutes out. I think it was $600 and pounding Oracle into the dirt. Had a great brief last night where I talked about how we're going to print money when, not if, the government shuts down. We'll get to that in a second. But here's what I want to do. Because after the brief last night, a ton of people were like, no, give me more. I just did a hour and 15-minute brief last night on the Fed decision, what it means in the next 12 months, but more important tactically, what it means in the next 30 days. And I showed a bearish double vertical on the S&P 500. Got a bunch of emails last night like, hey, how do I do whatever? I'm like, well, you're not a member, so I'm not going to tell you do anything. I'm not a charity. TOPGUN Options is not a charity. I run a couple charities, but not on this side of the fence. So here's what I'm going to do. Why don't we just do a full throttle next week? Go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. I'm the only guy in the industry that does this, folks. I open up the doors for 4 days so you can come in and see live. I also do that because, hey, I could make it this day or I work or whatever. You'll obviously get access to the replays, but if you want to come and ask questions, come on in, man. You're going to get to walk around my trading squadron during normal flight operations. We ain't gussing anything up. And I don't want to jinx myself, but most full throttle trainings, I pay for a couple years of membership with a couple trades that I cover live during the free week. So head to go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. Why do I want to do this next week? Because I'm a nice guy. Why? Because after next week, the week following that is what? End of the fiscal year for the government. September 30th, that is it. And what just happened? Well, this morning, the House passed a spending bill like, hey, we'll keep the government open as we continue to kick the can down the road. What just happened before I jumped on the air? The Senate said no. Well, not the Senate Democrats said no. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Minority Leader Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, they ain't in the mood for bipartisanship. It doesn't matter that a dude just got shot in the throat in front of his wife and kids. It doesn't matter. None of it matters, folks. They're going to try and stick it to Trump and shut the government down. As an American, I think it's awful. Whatever, Wiz. If you want a friend, get a dog. As Gordon Gekko, as Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, I want a government shutdown. I was just channeling A Few Good Men, Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, right? I want that government shutdown. I need that government shutdown, right? So I'm going to show you, and I actually got filled on the trade that we covered last night in our free brief, a S&P 500 bearish double vertical. It is right there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll show you how to do this next week as well for free. How to Tredge, right? What the hell is Tredge? It's a trade, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm pretty damn sure is going to make money. I don't place trades if I think I'm going to lose. And it also is going to serve as a hedge to protect my long-term bullish positions. I got Amazon, JP Morgan, SIBO, some psychedelics. I have long-term bullish positions that I want to protect when, not if, I think we implode in the next month. So this is, look at the sub-headline here, folks. Democrats demand Republicans add $1 trillion in healthcare funds to support the measure. So Minority Leader Schumer and Jeffries are going to hold the Republicans hostage. They're going to shut the government down. And then what are they going to do? We're going to see commercial after commercial from them going, remember in the old days, I remember the one commercial of like a nurse or something with an old lady in a wheelchair, like pushing her off the cliff, like Republicans are killing seniors. They're not, people in the military aren't going to get paychecks. The woe is me. I want the government to shut down, man. It would give us a break from everything for a little while. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do, I already did, a bearish double vertical that's going to print money when the government shuts down, or even if we get close to the edge, right? The market's going to start rolling over if we get close to an edge. I'm going to take profits, and then I'm going to do what? get bullish, because even though I would love the government to stay shut down, it's going to open and the market will rally and resume its upward climb. So this is tactical dogfighting trading, folks, and I'm surgical with this stuff. I am fantastic. Just ask me. So one more time, you got to register. Go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle. I'm going to show you how I'm trading this. I'm going to hit what the Fed did last night. It was essentially, in my opinion, a hawkish cut. The guy's clueless. Mr. Transitory, right? Inflation at 40-year highs is transitory. Turns out his definition of transitory was 2 years. That wasn't my definition, and most Americans, folks. So you failed in the past. You're failing now. He should have cut rates in June. He failed. He cut 50 basis points this time last year in front of an election. Why? Why don't you ask him? Ridiculous. Inflation was going up and he cut. So the people doing the hand wringing that he cut this week with inflation going up a little bit, where were you a year ago? But that's folks, if it wasn't for double standards, some people in this country wouldn't have standards at all, right? Jimmy Kimmel being, a quote, canceled. First of all, it was a business decision by Disney. Bob Iger heard that not only was he not going to apologize, he was going to get on the air that night and make it even worse. That's a business decision. Don't give me the FCC acted like a mafia boss and kind of threatened to. Ladies and gentlemen, you clearly don't understand that broadcasters, I'm not talking cable, I'm talking broadcasters. ABC is a broadcast station. They have standards. Just because those standards have slid into the toilet under Biden and Obama and Democrats doesn't mean they don't exist. So these people aren't used to having an FCC that enforces the law. Don't like it? Change the law. It freaks me the hell out, ladies and gentlemen, that these people are more frothing at the mouth about a guy who has almost no viewership, quote, getting canceled, than a dude getting shot in the throat for freedom of speech. Are you kidding me? These people are nuts, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, before I forget about that, I just dropped, it's on Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can listen to it. My most recent Max Afterburner podcast. I think it might be the rant to end all rants here, from sacred ground to shattered world. Make sure you listen to that. Actually don't listen to that if you're stuck in traffic. It might get you riled up, man. I mean, I start on a high note, I end on a high note, but the middle's tough, man. I left a healing retreat, and leaving a healing retreat and then seeing Irina stabbed in the throat multiple times, and then Charlie Kirk getting killed, man. So it sucks. The world would be a much better place if people healed. These egos, the hate, the division would be essentially gone if people took responsibility for their own healing. So go listen to episode 132 of the Max Afterburner podcast. Again, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or just go to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe right there. We need to get our subscriber base up, okay? We'll talk about all this stuff tomorrow. The psychedelic names are having a rip your face off rally. They're going to explode, folks. MindMed's looking good. Great news out of Atai this week. Where is it? Right here. I love this, man. Atai, it got a huge grant, $11-12 million grant. We covered the psychedelic bullseye this week with all the, obviously the compounds closer to the bullseye are close to approval, from 5-MeO-DMT to ibogaine, psilocybin, LSD, DMT. Man, ketamine obviously already approved. But folks, I'm excited. I love doing the free full throttle weeks because it's a hell of a lot more work for me, especially when the unwashed masses come up to our elite fighter squadron. But I welcome everybody, man. All faiths. I don't know what an option is. I'm a Jedi Master Whiz. Well, guess what? If you think you know what you're doing, I guarantee you I'm going to make you better. If you don't know what you're doing, you're like my Marine buddies who can't even spell the word option, I'm going to hook you up. So one more time, head to go.topgunoptions.com/full-throttle, and I'll see you Monday morning at 10 a.m. in our live trade brief. Have a great rest of your day. Fights on, namaste, and basi, Whiz out.